Beyond the Stage, where in this podcast we will be tackling and exploring the thought-provoking works of contemporary art. I am Joanna B. Mayo from CLT SOE, taking the double degree AV Economics and Marketing, joined by my co-host here.
Okay, I'm Padre Burgos. I'm from DCOE and I'm studying civil engineering.
I'm Fercel Dupre Nicolas, also in GCOE, and I'm currently taking manufacturing engineering.
Hi, my name is Russell Ivandy from RBRCOB, taking up business management.
Okay, so I'm Aaron David Glill. I'm also from COB, taking marketing management.
So today we're going to be diving into the thought-provoking world of Eisa Jocson's performance art, specifically Is It My Body? So this performance art piece examines the body as both an instrument of labor and a site of power. So let's just jump right into it. What were your first reactions and initial impressions upon watching the performance?
So if I were to go first, I'd say my first impressions were almost a little eerie, almost because of the big smiles, the non-stop, this very high-pitched voice, and then what is it? At the middle part when the dancer collapses on themselves and they just start standing there back to back with the other dancers, the whole dress covering them. Then they get up and they just act like nothing happened. They get back to dancing as usual. That really made me think of how performers are often we're only valued when they're performing. Aside of that, the audience does not care really. But then that's not true, obviously, given the fact that if you see the audience shots, a lot of them were very conserved they were just reacting because obviously it's part of the performance, the falling, the failing. But in real performances, if you were to falter once, the audience will never forgive you for ruining their experience in the show or play or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of shock factor.
Yeah,
It's really shocking to see.
gulat talaga. Just the visualization of the performance and it makes you being left in awe.
Tsaka yung eeriness of the room, yun yung vibe talaga. Kasi usually, if you're in Disney, princess all naka-line up, bright smiley faces. Tapos, pero sa room na yun, parang nilagay niya sa setting na it's a very awkward setting that you can see ang intricate na movements ng mga princess na sa Disney. And ganong ka-hard work talaga na pinuput in ng mga actors sa entertainment industry in general.
And also to add to that eerie factor pa, the repetitiveness, like paulit-ulit yung movements.
Also yung sounds na ginagawa nila habang nag-perform.
Imagine like,
Kinda-
they bigla may scream, you know.
Yeah. Then you can also see from the video, you can also see the reaction from of the crowd while they are performing. Just
Yung parang it starts off like really bright and cheery in like a sort of eerie environment na everyone else is quiet except the Disney princesses. And they're like trying to interact with the audience. Bigla lang makahulog sila. And then it shows a different side of them quite literally with like the dress covering their upper half and showing their bottoms. Tapos, like, you syempre the audience parang shocked.
you can see them being shocked talaga.
And then they stand up and then they go back to normal as if nothing happened. Parang it shows na the show must go on. Parang yung sinabi ni Paolo na even if something happens, you have to keep going.
Yeah.
So, let's go deeper by analyzing the performance using Alice Bullier-No's 4 planes of analysis, which is a semiotic, iconic, contextual, and developing planes.
So iconically, so we see on the performance that they are wearing Snow White costume. So what do you guys think about that?
For me kasi, the reason na to Snow White siya, one, kasi medyo, di ba Disney theme?
Yeah.
No, parang Filipino workers, they're not getting the roles kasi they don't fit the image of Disney princesses. Kasi dark skin, kasi yung epitome of beauty sa tutak ng tao is light skin, tall, and slim faced. And the natural Filipino usually does not fit that image. And feel ko from the actions of Eisa Jocson, feel ko pinakita niya sa mga tao the fact na parang may konting racism sa Disney. Kaya di na nakikita yung nakuha yung parts na gusto nila and they train hard for.
Especially when we consider the context na like one of the most magical Disney places is in Hong Kong. And at the same time, a lot of overseas Filipino workers are positioned in.
Hmm. Actually, it's not just Filipinos only. So we can also add to that the other OFW workers from other countries. So in kasi in context kasi, the purpose of this performance by Eisa Jocson is to what you call this? Basically gives the highlights on the experiences these OFWs are being subjected to. Like, for example, yung mga abuses and maybe exploitations na nangyayari sa kanila during their work times through these happy lands. The happy lands or Disney theme parks. We only see the outer work images of the people that are performing these characters, but we don't understand we don't fully understand what the experiences and emotions that they are going through. The people is
We always, what should I say? We always look at it. We always romanticize the way that Filipinos work hard. They, push through even though they're, suffering. But we never try to fix it. We never try to delve deeper into the topic. We always just, how should I say, how they like, for example, they just pity them. We like seeing them struggle, but push through. We never like try to actually help them meaningfully.
never.
Yeah, I agree. Because in the end of the day, it's still more performance to see. More for the audience to be like, well, that's so inspiring. Then they will never change because to them, looking at someone trying to get better is fulfilling in it of itself. But helping them for real makes it so the story stops. It's the real problem. And then what makes Jocson's work much more meaningful is that the Philippines' biggest export is people. In terms of other markets, we're beat by every other country,
Yeah.
almost everywhere else. But people, we have a lot of people to spare. A lot of people we have are willing to go work to other places. So there's Hong Kong, specifically the USA, Canada nowadays is the new trend. And so her work will continue to live on until the Filipinos realize that letting their people not work in this country because of how bad it is sometimes to get a job here and to get a decent wage, either living alone or most of these people providing for their family, their kids, is that it'll have to change soon. Because, what's it called? I'm trying to figure it out. What is it? It's not sustainable to our economy to just give people away. And then what they'll give back is just paychecks. We need to find a way to give away more of Filipino products without having to give away our people. That's what I mean. Because that's more sustainable. That's more stimulating for our economy. That's why these other countries get richer through our labor, but we don't get any richer because of that.
I think it connects to like the broader issue of like gender and like labor in the Philippines.
Exactly.
Kasi especially with the branding na mas masaya sa Pilipinas, it kind of expects Filipinos to perform that we're happy and like we're supposed to deliver that happiness. And many Filipinos work abroad and they often experience like these expectations na to be desirable and to be exotic and also digestible for the foreign country. So parang in this performance art, Jocson kind of like points out na performance itself is a type of labor and yung body and yung exhaustion and yung exertion of effort is yung product.
And it's not just about di ba? Yung financial gain. That is the problem here. Yung rin kasi yung mental health problems na nararanasan nila when they are working. So, what can you say about those? Yung mga emotions na nararamdaman nila habang they work during that times. Kasi yung from the performance mo mataisip, the title is It My Body. Yes, they are performing to show a character, but while performing, ano yung nararamdaman nila sa maloob-looban?
Ah, siguro, sometimes, masaya kung mapapanood yung role. Sometimes, pero most of the time, as pinag-usapan natin kasi may bias,
Yeah.
medyo malungkot sila lagi. Most likely, or at least disappointed.
Yeah. Pero depende pa rin sa experience nila. Like, we can say na they can be happy when napapasaya nila yung mga visitors during those hours na nagtatrabaho sila. Yes, we can say that. Pero, how about yung ano naman nila, yung mga situation nila like, from what I heard, no? When they are like the mga distributors na nag-perform sila dun sa theme parks, they have to stand there in the middle of the street or something dun sa theme park in the heat. So they have to perform that around 12 hours at a time per week. Yeah. So we can assume na syempre may mahihirapan sila, pero just to earn and to entertain the visitors, they have to endure yung mga pains na ginagawa nila.
And to add to that, we can delve deeper into it. We can say Filipinos, especially Filipinos, when they're working abroad, they have to stay in this like character. They have to stay docile. That's why we're hired as caretakers, yayas.
Let's talk about the performance ng
With performance and also is our attitude.
Yeah.
Our main character, that even the government promotes it. We're docile. We're polite. We just follow orders. We don't really combat what they say. We stay in character even though we don't want to. Even though we suffer from it, we still follow it. Even though we don't want to.
I guess you could also say that being resilient is also a performance in itself.
Yeah.
So speaking of performance art often gets misunderstood in mainstream discussion. So what role do you think, or what relevance do you think it plays in today's contemporary society?
Okay.
For me, I think that in modern day society, contemporary society, performance art matters more in the sense that the people want a spectacle. They don't just want to see a picture on the wall. They want to hear a song. They want to see something. They want to see a person do something. Especially now in the age of AI, wherein it's almost like these companies try to remove the people from the art. And so contemporary, which is almost entirely the human body in a way, is a lot more immune to that, I would say.
It's a lot more, human.
Exactly. And so what I think makes performance art so vital is that it's a lot deeper of a connection, because when you see a painting, you see a 2D image. When you hear a song, you hear your ears vibrate. When you see a performance, you see another person entirely. You see them give their heart and soul through anything, dance, performance, acting.
To add upon that, actually, there's some things that you can't really showcase with anything else other than performance art. You can't really showcase anything else except with your body. There's some movements, some stuff, there's some performances. It's in the name, some performances that you can't really show anywhere else. Any way else. Like you can't really paint it, you can't really make it into a song.
Yes, things like, well, for example, what's the one with the bow and arrow again? What's it called? Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You can't really express that level of danger to just a picture of a bow and arrow pointing at someone.
It's very immersive.
Yes. In a way, that danger is also very authentic and human. Like, for example, even in more lighthearted cases of danger, like for example, you see a circus, right? You see a person trapezing, think, oh, that's fun. But in reality, they're flying through the air at high speeds. If one slip, and they would fall onto a net, but there's still that danger.
Yeah.
Or you see, in a way, a performance art driving in a way. like for example NASCAR or F1.
Yeah.
It's you see people move at speeds that shouldn't be allowed for a human being, just for the sake of a trophy at the end of the day. So really, it's still very prevalent today, even in ways people don't understand. Or they don't quite appeal, they don't quite tell them art.
And speaking of like prevalence, it often mirrors present day society.
Yeah.
Yeah, it basically tackles the modern problems of the society we have today. And it's not just about the movements of the body during the performance, it's also about the experience these performers are being subjected to and the experience they have to deal with while performing those. So it we can say that as a audience, mapapaisip tayo kung ano yung mga experience nila, bakit nila ginagawa ito, at gaano kahirap ito.
Oh yeah, for performance arts as well. We can also see in a potential expansion in the future with more people going into performance art because well, you know what he said earlier, AI. AI is going to pretty much just get over with art in general, music and painting, those drawings and stuff. Those are going to get invaded by AI. So performance art is one of the few ways that people can showcase art without the influence
It's
of
not
AI.
easily
It can't be replicated because it's human.
yeah. It's very human.
Okay, so this discussion has really been eye-opening and insightful. So before we go, let's each leave the audience with one key takeaway. So,
For me, my key takeaway is that performance artists from any level, any skill level, deserve better treatment because of the amount of work and creativity they put out. They get back very little. These people, they gain the audience. They smile, they laugh, they cry, they feel all these emotions. But performance artists, they just get minimum wage at best most of the time.
Okay, so for me, I'll just leave you guys with a simple question. I always want you guys to, anytime you consume a piece of media, just ask yourself the big question. Why are they experiencing this? Especially with OFWs. Why are they experiencing these hardships? Don't just take it for surface. Don't just take it for surface level poverty. Always delve deeper as to why they're experiencing it. That's all.
Mine will be, I guess, the experiences this OFWs being subjected to, like he said, just ask the question of why and how is this being done, or not like being done, but like why are they experiencing these situations when you can have something here in our home country, and also just examine who is behind the persons, what are they feeling, what are they experiencing stronger jobs outside the country.
And I would just like to reference an author, Eric Lewis. He says that the body is an expressive medium to communicate your inner feelings, inner thoughts. And in terms of Is It My Body, Eisa Jocson talaga showed the intricacy of the exploitation of the entertainment industry towards the Filipino community. Kasi, yun nga, like I said, yung mga intricate actions is Snow White, the high-pitched voice, later turned into the shouting of the performers, Eisa Jocson herself. So, I would just like to highlight ayun nga, like what all of you said, parang yung exploitation lang talaga yung industry itself. Not just to the Filipinos, it's the image of a princess itself, the beauty standards like I've said about it. That's my personal take.
and we all must remember that art like this is important because it encourages us to question and confront the uncomfortable truths in our society. So, we'll leave you with this. Thank you for joining us here in Beyond the Stage, and until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.